We had quite a few people that came down that are not actually in the business. We actually have a couple hundred people who are here today who are not in the business. So I just want to thank you all for coming out. I really appreciate you. My name is Thomas Felder, for those of you who don't know me. I'm kind of co-hosting the event. And for those of you who are in the business, we're going to do something special for you. Kind of give you some things to sort of move your business forward. And eventually, at some point, when Eric is done addressing you, we'll move you back into the main auditorium, okay? And we already have seats reserved for you, so you don't have to worry about losing your seats. Is that all right? Yeah. All right. There's also refreshments. Did they tell you about that? Yeah. All right. So for those of you who didn't get a chance to eat, they have a room with food. You guys can get food, and you can actually take it into the event, as far as I understand. Is that all right? All right. Awesome. What we're going to do tonight, though, is we're talking about how to move your business forward, how to be excited, how to be motivated, and actually take on some new skill sets. Some people in this business, what we do, we interact with people. And to be honest, this business prepares you to be successful. Y'all know what I mean by that? Some of y'all don't have the right mindset for success. Meaning that somebody comes say something bad to you one day, you angry. They don't ruin your day, right? I run into people all the time, they step on my toes, say something crazy, and I'm knocked off my game. And to be successful in this business, you got to know your game. You got to know what you got to do regardless of whatever, and nobody gets you off the plank. I got into this business, and the name of the company that I got into it because of a barber that I didn't know. And somebody invited me to his house. I was angry the whole time, and they wanted to talk to me about this business. I wasn't interested in going into this business. I wasn't interested in doing sales, right? Nobody wants to do sales. When you think of sales, who do you think of? You think of the vacuum guy, right? The guy who's selling the vacuum. You think of the guy who's got a set of sharp knives. You think of the guy with the blender, right? You think of the guy from the greasy car salesman. Hopefully they know car salesman. Right? But those are the things that come to mind. But selling things has nothing to do with the product. Y'all understand that, right? When people buy something, they're buying you. They're not buying the product. They're not buying the blender, the vacuum, the car. They're buying you. And sometimes you got to raise, you have to be a better you for people to be interested in you, right? You only got to rise as high as your mental development. Some of y'all want to be millionaires. Anybody here want to be a millionaire? Right? But you got to have a millionaire mindset. You got to say to yourself, am I prepared to do what it takes to be a millionaire? Right? Anybody here prepared to work a 23, 22-hour day? Yes? Awesome, because that's number one. That's the first thing you got to be prepared to do. Are you prepared to do that for a year on end with making no money? Right? If you guys know about Apple, y'all know Steve Jobs worked for like 4 years and didn't pay himself a dime. Y'all know that? Everybody wants to be a billionaire, but who wants to work for 4 years and no obvious results? No money coming in. It's easy for all of us to do when we got money coming in. Right? When you see a big check, but can you do it when there's no check coming in? Right? As part of building it up, as part of getting ready for success. And all of y'all here got to have a mindset that I'm going to work this business for 2, 3, 4 years so I get to a point that I know the money's going to come. It's like college. If you thought college was going to take you a year, then everybody's fine. But it takes 4 years. You got to set the correct expectation to be successful. You got to raise the expectation. Let me ask by a show of hands. How many people here have children? Got children? All right, we got a couple of parents here, right? And it's easier for me to spank your kid, right? You know what I'm saying? Your kid do something wrong, what's wrong with your kid? Get that kid a spanking, right? You ever sit at the kid crying in church, right? Why won't you take the kid out to the mother's room? But if it's your kid, you sit there, you're coddling it, you're holding it, you're taking care of it. There's nothing that kid could do that's gonna knock you off your game. This business is your kid. This business is your baby. This business is the thing that you've got to protect and make sure nobody rains on it, make sure it doesn't fall, get hurt. You guys have got to put that kind of energy into this business. Are you guys prepared to do that?
Yeah. Yes.
Right? Because that's all it takes. I was talking to a couple of people last week, and I was telling them about Alibaba. Alibaba. Anybody know what Alibaba is? All right, one person, right? Alibaba is a private company, and it's in China, right? Alibaba, while some of you have never heard of it, The largest company that does transactions on the internet for credit cards is PayPal. You guys know that? Alibaba did 4 times the number of transactions than PayPal did last year. Never heard of them, right? What about Amazon, right? Amazon is the #1 e-commerce company in the United States. Alibaba did 2 times the amount of volume of Alibaba. eBay is the #1 auction site in the United States. Alibaba did 4 times the amount of volume that eBay did. When Alibaba has a team meeting, an employee meeting, they have to rent a stadium. They rent a soccer stadium for their 40,000 employees to get together. The company has been around for 15 years, and the name of the owner of the company is a guy named Jack Ma. Mr. Ma is what they call him, right? He's 49 years old this year, and I can tell you 4 years ago they said Alibaba was a what? Scam. Did y'all know that? It went from being a scam to when Alibaba goes public, it's going to go public in 30 days, it's going to be the largest public offering in the United States of America. It would be larger than the launch of Google. Larger than the launch of Microsoft. Can y'all imagine that? A company you never heard of. They said when Alibaba goes public, they very well expect Mr. Jack Ma to be in the top 3 highest earners in the entire world. What was he doing 15 years ago, y'all? He dropped out of school. He was working his business out of his apartment. His own mother wasn't interested in his business. Every friend that he knew told him the business wouldn't work. What are they saying now? Everybody want to be with Mr. Ma now. Right? So when I get over there, when I get on the other side, y'all might hear about Alibaba again, because I thought it was worthwhile that everybody hear about it. Y'all agree? Because we all got dreams that get crushed. And we all need to know that we can make it. And sometimes if you know that your dream is an Alibaba, you can do it. Right? The second thing that I'm going to talk to them about today is philodendron. Philodendron. Any plant lovers in the room? You got a philodendron. Awesome. So philodendrons, if you don't know, can live up to 60 to 70 years. Right? And y'all know what philodendrons are. Y'all see them. Most of our grandparents have them, and you got to go touch them to see if they're real or if they're fake. Right? Because we can't tell. They look plastic. They got dust on them. And there's a lady. Her name is Miss Scarto, right? She's in New Jersey. She was on the cover of the May 5th edition of the Wall Street Journal. And she's 64 years old, and she left $5,000 in her will to her philodendron. How about that? Most of us, when our parents die, or our kids die, or a loved one die, we got to pass around an offering plate. And she leaving $5,000 through her plan. How about that? Right? She said, I want to leave this money for my plant to make sure that somebody was going to be in a position to take care of it. And most of us here don't have money in our 401k. Most of the money that we can speak of when we talk about savings is what's in our pocket or our purse. The maximum of your credit card is the maximum of what some of y'all are worth. Got to do something different. What most of y'all are doing right now is not working. It's broke. And so are you, unfortunately. Right? You want to put yourself in a position, you got to say to yourself, I'm going to set a goal that over the next 5 years, if I die tomorrow, my family can live for the next 5 years and not have to worry about money. How about that? Very simple goal, yes? There's a lot of things that we couldn't do 10 years ago that we can do now. Every single person in this business can create a business on the internet. There's no person in this room who can't do it. And a business that you have no overhead. You know, on the internet, there's no overhead. There's no shipping. There's no copying. There's no distribution costs. Every single person here can develop an idea or a business where if you can develop it on the internet, people can buy into you, you can deliver it, and you don't need an army of people. You can do it by yourself for the most part if somebody will train you. Somebody will train you. I'll train you if you're willing to learn. How about that? I have a business, for those of you who know the business that I'm in. I work my business 100% on autopilot. How about that? Right? I can go away out of the country for 30 days or more and it not affect my income. I don't have to ask my boss for permission. Right? Most of us here, we go to a job every single day and we deal with a boss who we don't like. Are we right? Yeah. And the boss don't like you neither. You do just enough not to get fired, and he pays you just enough not to what? Quit. That's where we find ourselves every day. And you guys have got to make a decision that you're going to change that. You got to make a decision that you're going to do something different. And that all starts with focus. Starts with what? Focus. Right? So when I got into this business, I decided that I had to do something different. And I took a suggestion from Oprah Winfrey. Right? And Oprah Winfrey said that she wanted to change her life. And it started with a vision board. A vision board. Any of y'all ever made a vision board in here? Awesome. A few of you. If you've never made a vision board before, make one. My wife told me to make a vision board, and I didn't want to do it because I thought it was a waste of time. I thought it was hokey. I thought it was foolish. And I was like, what difference would a vision board make? But a vision board made all the difference for me. I wrote on my vision board, I wrote, that's your phone? Awesome. Awesome. This would be a good time. My pastor would say, if y'all here, could you please put your phones on? But I wrote on my vision board that I was going to make $1 million in 1 year. Could y'all believe that? I wrote on my vision board I was going to get $1 million. I wrote that I was going to get a Bentley. I wrote that I was going to lose 25 pounds. I wrote that I was going to spend more time with my wife and my kids, and I was going to go to my daughter's basketball game. Maybe you call it dreaming. I don't know. But I looked at it every single morning. Every single morning, it reminded me while I was getting up in the middle of the morning. Every single day, it reminded me while I was dealing with some people who I didn't like. Every day, it reminded me while I was taking guff from people who I thought that maybe I knew a little bit more than them. Maybe I worked a little bit harder than them, but I had a goal. I had a reason to do the things that I did. So some strange things started to happen in my business. You know, we always say about the law of positive attraction, and people wonder if it's real. It's real. It's real. Things started to change for me. I said that I was going to get a brand new Bentley on March 1st of 2013. That was the exact date that I wrote on my vision board. Anybody want to guess the date I got my brand new Bentley? I got it March 30th. March 30th. I was off, but I had a goal. If you don't have a goal, you're not going to get there, right? So that was the first thing I did. I said I was going to lose 20 pounds. I said I was going to lose it in March of last year. I didn't lose it in March of last year. But I did lose the 20 pounds 60 days ago. Is that all right? Yes. Got to go. Right? Now I'm going for another 20. I wanted to do it before and after the picture, but my wife said I hadn't lost enough weight yet. So I'm going to lose another 20, and then I'll start shedding off and showing my boxes. Don't we all have that dream that before we go to our grave, we want to take that one shot? When we got our little squares. So I'm definitely going to get my square shot before I go to my grave. So the third thing that I had on there was that I wanted to spend time with my children. Anybody here got kids? Right? You want to spend time with them? You always want to go on vacation with your kids? Right? So this summer I'm going away to Europe for a month. I'm going for 1 full month. I'm taking my wife and my children. 16 years being a lawyer, I was never able to take a month off. Not for any reason. Not for vacation, not for emergency. Most of us on our jobs, when we have an emergency, what do we have to choose between? Our job and our family emergency. Who wins? The job. The job wins every time. Your kids are sick, they got to get better. They got a school play, somebody better tape it. Right? If the school calls for a meeting, you just better say, hopefully everything works out okay with the kids. That's how most things go down with us. So we got to start changing that, y'all. Everybody here has got to make a mental decision. And you got to be willing to go through some obstacles. There's going to be obstacles, bro. It's going to be obstacles. If it's too easy, it's not worth it. Right? You get married, it's too easy for you to get your wife, watch out. Right? Too easy for you to get your husband, there's a problem. Right? For some reason, somebody taught us that to transform is going to be easy. It's a lie. Right? You take a butterfly and a butterfly's in a cocoon, you cut that butterfly out of the cocoon, you know what happens, right? It'll never grow strong wings. It'll never learn to fly. Some of y'all, your parents have been cutting y'all out of cocoons your whole life. Right? Some of y'all have drug problems and somebody keep bailing you out. Some of y'all got money issues and somebody keep bailing you out. Some of y'all got marital issues and somebody keep bailing you out. Listen, you gotta work through it. You gotta work through it. Some of y'all got to get down and pray. I know that's a scary word, the P word. You got to pray. Right? There's somebody higher than you. And until you realize that there's somebody that you're accountable to, you will not change. Right? You got to start thinking differently and be willing to do some different things. So first thing I want y'all to do when y'all get out of here, when y'all decide to go home, get a vision board. Let that be the first thing that you do. Go to the internet or wherever, cut a picture out. If there's a car that you want, cut the picture out and put it on the board. And let me be clear, it's not all about physical attributions, getting physical stuff. It's not about getting rich. But sometimes by becoming rich and setting a financial goal, we become better people. It forces you to change. Trust me, if you're trying to become a millionaire, you got to sort of fix your diet, right? Y'all got to get to bed earlier, and you got to fix your attitude. It is very rare that you see wealthy people, for the most part, they got bad attitudes, right? Of course, we found some different stuff in the news lately. But I'm just saying, for the most part, when you see people who are doing well, they exude a positive influence, and they have a tendency to be friendly and upbeat, right? And some of y'all are not friendly and upbeat. Some of y'all looking angry right now, right? So you gotta learn to change that, and you gotta be willing to sort of do the different things that it's gonna require. Now, here was the biggest change for me. Here was the biggest change for me. Y'all ready? Saying I'm sorry. Right? I had to really put some things behind me to sort of get ahead. Right? I had to be able to go to people who I thought did me wrong and knew they did me wrong and knew they would never apologize, and I had to go to them and say, I'm sorry. My bad. Right? It's always got to be the bigger man that says I'm sorry. Right? Some of y'all holding grudges over people who don't even know you angry. Right? You see them in church, you going left, they going right, and you think that they rolled their eyes at you. And I had a really good experience this week since I've been down here. There was somebody here at this event, and I don't know, I guess they thought I was angry at something that they did that they thought that I knew about it. And first of all, I didn't know they did it. Second of all, I wasn't angry. And even if I knew about it, I wouldn't be angry. I don't have energy to carry luggage. That's luggage, y'all. How am I gonna run with your luggage? Right? I gotta drop that stuff off if I expect to be successful. Right? So, number one, learn to say you sorry. Say you sorry and move on. Right? Don't hold no grudges. Don't expect the person who wronged you to come and apologize. It ain't gonna happen. All right? Forgive them and move on. Right? So the second thing I want you to do is learn how to focus. I want to show y'all a little experiment. Would you like to see it? Yes. Here's the experiment. This is my friend. What's your name, folks? Sai. Will you stand for me right here, Sai? Just stand right there. I want you to do me a favor, Sai. Excuse me. Do you think you can get from there and come and sit in this chair and do it in maybe 10 seconds? You think you can? Yep. All right. Everybody thinks you can do that? Yeah. Walk from there to here and just sit down? 10 seconds? 10 seconds is a long time. Anybody got a scarf? A scarf. Awesome. Sai, do me a favor, blindfold yourself.
Move the chair.
So nice and tight, Sai?
Sir.
You can still get to that chair, can't you?
Sir.
Give me a favor, take 2 steps forward.
Sit 2.
Yep, that's good. Right there, Sai. All right, son. We're going to start counting you down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, son. Take the blindfold off. Look at where you are. Are you close to your goal? Anyway. What happened, son?
You got moved.
You got moved? An obstacle came.
Distracted.
You got distracted. A couple of things happened, right? What happened? First, you lost sight of the goal. And then secondly, life hit you. It spun you around. Right? And you couldn't reorientate yourself. Hey, Si, that happens in real life, bro. We all start out with a goal. And I tell people every day, every morning, you got to hit reset, man. Every day you gotta say, I'll do it again. Every day I can be better, right? You can't rely on yesterday. What happens to most of us is the same thing in real life. When it happens, we give up. We say it ain't gonna work. We say we'll never find a goal. And we never stop and reorientate ourselves. I never told you at any point, Sadi, you couldn't take the blindfold off. I never told you at any point you couldn't get your eye back on the goal. Are you ready? But so many of us, when we go to school, people tell us we can't make it, we can't do it. And listen, the people who tell us we can't make it and we can't do it are the people who are closest to us. It ain't strangers, man, knocking you out the box. It's your wife. Right? It's your homie. Right? Am I right? It's your kids. Ma, you ain't gonna never lose weight. Right? Ma, you don't give it up on everything. Ma, you never learn to speak Spanish. Right? It's always the people who are closest to us, and that's why it hurts so much. Right? It's your boss who put you in the cubicle for 13 years. Right? He's gonna elevate you from what? The mail room to doing some minor clerk stuff? Listen, man, you were born for better than that. Awesome, awesome. Listen, I want everybody, when you leave out of here today, when you leave out of here, when you leave out of the presentation, when you leave out of the training, I want you to remember what you saw. Y'all hear me? Yeah. Because that's how y'all are starting y'all day. Some of y'all got old stuff and it's blinding you and you think you're going to hit the target. You're never going to hit the target with that stuff, sis. Right? So forget what happened yesterday, take the blinders off, and be able to focus on your goal. Right? Now, let me get to the third thing quickly. The third thing that we all do sometimes is we set lower expectations than what's necessary to win. Are y'all with me? Let me give you an example. Recently, I think I was driving from New York to Philly, and I put in a half a tank of gas. Right? I thought a half a tank of gas would be more than enough to get from New York to Philly. And as I was driving, I watched the meter go lower and lower. Y'all with me? I'm seeing it going down lower and lower, and I'm saying to myself, I can still get to Philly. Everything around me was telling me, boss, you need to refuel. Right? So I'm getting on the beltway and the turnpike. I said I can make it. Right? I mean, I had every option, every opportunity to pull off. I had every opportunity to refuel. I found myself, when I got to the point where that little red light came on, I'm like, man, I know I can do another 10 miles with the red light on. Right? And then here I am with a, $230,000+ car and start coughing. Right? But here's the deal. That's how a lot of us are running. We underestimate what it's going to take for us to get to where we need to be. We underestimate what it's going to take for us to be successful. Right? And we get almost there. We almost there, we run out of fuel. Some of y'all are running out of fuel. Right? You got to recharge, and that's why today was so important. That's why this weekend was so important for a lot of y'all, to refuel. You got to remember to refuel. You got to refuel in your relationships, refuel in your business, and refuel in your bank accounts. Right? And when it comes to your bank accounts, you guys got to be really serious about sort of starting over. Right? Most of us in here, if something happened to us in 60 days, we'd be in our mama's house, or our mama be in our house. Am I right? Yes? Yeah. We ain't got to lie about this, y'all. Right? I ain't gonna see y'all after today. Right? So be prepared to do something different. Look at your bank account. Take a serious look. I had to take a serious look at mine. A lot of times we make mistakes in our money. We make mistakes. We do things wrong. I did a lot of things wrong with my money. I bought 13 houses 5 years ago. Right? Yeah, it's bad now. It's bad now. But had everything worked out, I was going to be the next Donald Bump. Are you with me? So I had a vision for what was going to happen, and the real estate market took a tank. It took a dive. They had me on free fall. When you're making $30,000+ a month and you can't meet your financial obligations, there's something wrong. Right? So I had to put myself in a posture that I could sort of recover that money. Right? And I found a way to do it. I found a way to make as much money as I was making before with no overhead. Living in a no overhead world, boss. Right? So all of you got to look at your finances and really say, what do I need to do differently? Sometimes you're going to have to give up your fancy purses. Ouch. Right? Sometimes you're going to have to give up the expensive shoes. Right? Listen, some of y'all got to go to the Goodwill. Pop them tags. Right? Do it for a year or two. Make a sacrifice. If you got to live in a smaller apartment, do it for 2 or 3 years. Right? I started to make some money. And some of my friends who see me making money, they say crazy stuff like, man, you making good money. Why are you still riding in coach? I said, come on, bro. I'm paying off my debt, right? I said 5 years I'll be debt free. I could buy the plane. Could buy the plane, right? Some of you got to sort of have a different mindset about what sacrifices y'all are going to need to make to sort of reach that next level, right? I don't care what anybody says about my clothes, my shoes, whatever. My bank account is getting fat, right? I could afford to pay for stuff I couldn't afford to pay for before. So you guys are going to have to start doing similar things in your life to sort of get to a different place. Are you with me? Yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Listen, I just wanted to take an inventory and see where we were. Anybody know what's going on with Eric or what kind of time frame we on? We good? Can you go check in that other room and see if everything is good over there? Listen, we're going to do something a little bit different than I normally do. They're giving me some time. Y'all know I'm dangerous. Don't give me too much time. I want to share some things in the business for those who are in the business that's going to help you. I may or may not share it in the big room, but I want to show you a way that each one of you, I don't care what business you're in, we're all in the people business. Y'all understand that? Nobody's going to make money without people. I don't care that you do stuff on the internet. I don't care that you're internet savvy. I don't care that you're the Facebook king. You got to be able to deal with people, right? And the people that we want to deal with to build our business are people in our warm market. And what kind of market? Warm. Warm market. So I'm going to show everybody here to build your warm market by 100 to 200 people overnight. Is that all right? Yes. Awesome. Now, one of the ways that I decided to build my warm market was I used my yearbook. Everybody here went to high school? Most of y'all did? Yes? What I did was I took my yearbook and I used a little software program. And that software program is named Intellus. Anybody ever heard of it? All right, somebody heard of it? It's a software program that is $19 a month. $19 a month, I can put your name into it. I can put your name into the program. It will tell me where you went to high school. It will tell me where you live. It will tell me all of your email addresses. It will tell me all of your phone numbers. It will tell me the debt that you owe and the creditors you have. How about that? Tell me the high school and college that you went to. It'll tell me all your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, and your uncles. You think that'll help you? Yeah. Right? So literally what everybody in this room could do is just open up your yearbook and go page by page, person by person. You'll be able to contact people and be able to say, hey, this is so-and-so, I went to school with you, yada, 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 how's everything going? Right? Try to be a friend first. Right? Y'all know when I first got into business, I tried to do business before I was a friend. So kind of change that. Be a friend first. Right? How are you doing? Right? How are the kids? How's your mother? Yada, yada, yada. And then say, would you like to earn some additional money? Right? But use that Intellus program. It's a nice software. Everybody in the room can get it. You can share it with your team, and it costs you like $19 a month. Is that all right? Yeah. Did that help anybody? Yeah. All right, so that was the
name of the website again. I'm sorry, Intellus.
Intellus. Intellus. Intellus. Nice piece of software anybody here could use. The second thing that I've been doing lately is I'm not very good at following up with people. Anybody else got that problem? All right, and I have a bunch of business cards that are piled up in my drawer at home, right? And I use the business cards. I never take people's business cards. Well, sometimes I do. But I try to put the information right in my phone, right? Like if you try to give me a card, I'm going to say, look, man, listen, I'm going to lose your card. Just give me your name and number. And I put it in my phone right away. And next to your name, I put a little dash, and I put the word prospect, right? Everybody's a prospect to me. I put my mama's name in my phone. She's a prospect. Right? And I number it from 1 to 5, right? And I number it to 1 to 5, so anytime I have some downtime, I can go to my phone in the search box and I put prospect. Everybody I ever talk to shows up. And if I got a little extra time in the airport, the people who I'm going to talk to are the 5s, right? When I'm waiting in line, I'm going to talk to a 5. When I go through my 5s, I'll talk to a 4. Are you with me? So that's one of the ways you guys can do that. And I kind of number them all, and I can keep track of every single person I ever talk to, right? Every card that I have, I put them in the software, right? If I got your business card in my drawer, I can take your card out, I load it up in a piece of software, and I can send an email or a text message to thousands of people every single day, right? A lot of you here get emails from me, yes? Yeah. Some of you got emails from me today. Yeah. Some of you got hit on Facebook. You got 3 from me today. all of those were sent out on autopilot. How about that? I was either in my room or the convention center or taking a nap, right? Every single person needs to build their business that way, all right? So I'll teach you guys how to do that. I'm gonna teach you over there in the big room. Is that all right?
Yeah.
I teach you, I don't care what your business is, the goal is to put your business on autopilot. Anybody who you reach, you get their information, you put it in their phone, you put prospect, you number them between 1 to 5, get their email, get their phone number. Y'all got it?
Yeah.
All right, was that helpful for anybody?
Yeah.
All right, so here's the third thing. People always say to me, what do you say to people when you meet them? What do you say to people when you meet them? Some of y'all try to figure out how I do this. So I came here yesterday, and I was supposed to be training in the big room, and I saw a guy putting the chairs under the table. That was his job. And I said to him, I said, man, how long you been doing this job? He said, I've been doing it for 11 years. 11 years? You're a grown man and your job is putting chairs under the table? I said to him, I said, you ever wanted to do something different than this? He said, yeah, but what? He said, all I got is a high school diploma. What else can I do? He said he can't stop and go to school because he got to keep working to pay the bills. Y'all with me?
Yeah.
He can't do something different because what he's in right now is keeping him afloat. I said, man, if somebody could show you a business that you could work at 15 to 20 minutes a day and it could get you out of this situation, would you be interested? He said, of course. He said, how do I get started? I didn't know the man from Adam. He didn't know me. I didn't walk up to him and say, yo, I'm making some good money in this business, right? He didn't ask me the name of the company. He didn't ask me if we on the Inc. 500, right? He just said, can you help me? Can you show me how to do it? I didn't have to twist his arm, right? I got his phone number and his email, and he said, listen, man, before this weekend is over, can you get me into your business? All of you run into people like that every single day. Some of y'all are looking for people who you think are going to be successful, who you think are going to be a hard worker. But it's the people who will work the hardest that you overlook the most. Right? Y'all chase down the one person who's a lawyer. Right? And I feel sorry for lawyers since I got in this business, because y'all been driving me nuts. Right? But you got to learn how to do something different with that. Now, I got a trick for helping you build your business with lawyers. Right? Anybody, you got one of my books around here? Can you get one? Can we get one? All right, you got one? Hey, all right, watch this, y'all. Awesome. Anybody ever read this book? Some of y'all read it, some of y'all didn't. In this book, I told about my dad, right? And I told about how I grew up in the South Bronx, and my daddy was a crackhead. My dad was more likely to take a radio from me than give me one. How about that? I wake up in the middle of the night and I see him at the door, and I couldn't tell if he was tipping out or tipping in. Are you with me? It was so cold in my house from him not paying the bills that the fish were frozen in the fish tank. We were living in the house, man. Right? I could see my breath in my house. I'm just so thankful to God that He allows children not to know what's going on some days. Right. We thought it was fun. Roll over in the morning. Make them believe we dragons. So anyway, I wrote about all of that in this book. I wrote about it in this book, and I wrote about how I transitioned from working for 16 to 20 years with no end in sight. I never thought I would reach a point that I did not have to work like a madman. Most of you need to work to pay your bills so you can go to work to pay your bills. And none of that screams insanity to y'all. Does that scream insanity? And, you know, I got a guy at my church, he's 47 years old, talking about he's ready to go to law school. I said, really? You got at least 3 years to go to law school, and then what you going to do when you get out? You're 51 years old. Somebody's going to start you out at $20,000 to $30,000 a year, unless you graduate at the top of your class. I said, you really got to have a plan, right? So I wrote in the book how I transitioned from doing everything that you guys think that you want to do, right? Most of y'all think y'all want to be a lawyer or a doctor, make $20,000 or $30,000 a month, but not seeing your kids, is it worth it? Not seeing your wife, is it worth it? Right? I was working so hard I couldn't get to the dentist to get my teeth checked. I was working so hard I couldn't get my eyes checked. Right? So I got into a business that helped me leverage my time. And you guys have got to learn how to do that. and I wrote about how I did it. So I took this book and I started to give it to people as a prospecting tool. 139 people came into my business because of my books. I had friends that would listen to me that read the book. Right? Hey man, is this you? This the business you in? How am I getting this, man? Right? So listen, don't be afraid to use a book, y'all. The average person doesn't read, so don't be surprised. The average person reads 5 books from the time they graduate from high school to the time they die. That was since 1982 when we started the MTV generation. Listen, I see my man here, so we're going to transition. And I'm just so grateful and honored that I have my good friend here. His name is Eric Thomas, E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher. For those of you who don't know him, I want to introduce you to the #1 motivational speaker on the planet. And I can say that unabashedly, and I ain't got to stutter, right? He's my good friend. I've known him for years. And I'm so grateful that iron sharpens iron. Listen, without any further ado, I'm gonna bring to you guys somebody who I love and I respect. And I know that when he ends this thing today, you guys will never be the same. You won't be able to do what you did yesterday. You'll be a better person. Is that all right? Yeah. Hey, listen, y'all stand to your feet. Put your hands together for my good friend.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. Right, no problem. No problem. First of all, I'm humbled. You know, all of us have dreams and goals. And when you get to your dream and goal, it's just like people, you know, ask me all the time, you know, how does it feel? And it's like I'm still feeling it, you know. And I know I'm humbled because I'm here today because of, you know, everybody that pushed refresh on my video, you know, everybody that told somebody about it, and one video over 30 million hits, you know. I'm humbled, you know, so I don't come in the room today. My goal is not to come in here today and act like I'm the with authority, you know, on success. But what I can do is give you what I know, you know. And I literally, listen to me, you gotta be, when I talk, like I get real aggressive, I'm not talking about anybody, I'm talking about myself, right? So when I say it, don't think in your mind, he talking about this person, he talking about that person, I'm talking about myself. I literally started from the bottom, like for real. Like I don't know what people, when they say it, like is entertainment started from the bottom, now I don't know what they mean when they say it, right? But my mother was 17 for real when she had me, like for real, for real. My grandma had 14 kids, south side of Chicago, 2-bedroom house, 1 bathroom. We started literally. Grandma told my mom, you gotta go, cause I love you, but I got 14 kids. I can't feed another mouth, right? No husband. So moms was homeless. I was homeless, like started from the bottom, like GED, from the bottom. Now I'm finishing up a PhD, like started from the bottom. And I always tell little rookies who want to speak, I always tell little rookies, like, look, what are you doing it for? And you got to ask yourself this question when you do it. What gives you the right to stand before people and talk to people? Like, we ain't talking about making money right now. What gives you the right to stand in front of another human being with cancer and say you can survive? What gives you the right to say that? Have you survived anything? Like, what gives you the right to talk about making money? Have you made any money? Like, what gives you the right? So I'm standing here today, not wasting your time, not playing with your life. Like, I'm not here to get a check. I make good money. I'm not here for a check. I'm here literally to say one thing to you that will allow you, now let me just say this to you so it can make sense. I was about 18, got my GED, got accepted into Oakwood, and I got my first charge card. Like, I can't make the connection between college and charge card, but when you get in, they giving them out, right? I don't know how it worked, you know what I'm saying? They ain't really checking your credit like they was on my credit hard before. I couldn't get like a phone book, right? They was on your kid, but once I got into college, I had with my name on it and a nice little credit limit, right? And I took that charge card, me and my girl was on our way to Oakwood. I had never been to Oakwood before. You know, I don't know no better, so I'm jogging suit out. I ain't never been to college. So I buy a whole bunch of jogging suits, Run DMC, Adidas, green stripes on them. I get the Adidas to match. I got my Detroit Tiger hat. I'm on my way. So I got my girlfriend at the time who's now my wife. I get to the mall, I cash her out. Like, get the watch, like, get the shirt. Like, we got to go together. And the only way these bras going to know you with me is we going to have to dress alike, flat out. No, for real, they ain't going to know. So we got to have a couple outfits that let them know I'm with you, you with me. Yep.
Pardon me. We all want the real ET here today, right? We want him to give us exactly what we came here to get, right? But it's my responsibility to say, in order for us to get the real ET unleashed, unfortunately, we have to put the cameras down, all right? The only cameras that can film ET in this room are the cameras back here and cameras back here. If you took some pictures and all that, that's fine. But we're going to turn ET loose so he can do what
And let me say what he mean by that. I just left somewhere and I said something about a reference with Nike. I work for Nike and they put it up online. So like now you compromising my relationship with Nike, but I want to keep it real with you, but I can't keep it real and not eat. So that's what he means. So if you taping it, I'm going to say I'm like, if I see your cameras, I'm going to pull back. Because some of you, real, you're going to straight up put it on YouTube, right? Because you don't understand my relationship with the world, right? But when I'm at home, I can talk. So you got to have a different conversation, right? I don't want to be Donald Sterling. Like, I don't want to have a conversation with you. Like, for real, my man ain't do nothing wrong. Like, for real, don't trip on Donald. If some of your stuff got out, it'd be the same thing. So my man was just having a conversation with somebody he thought he could have a conversation with, and then it got out. So that's all he's saying. So he know me. I'm speaking. I see you with the camera. I'm going to pull back a little bit. Right? So I want my girl. I want them to know. So I take her to the mall. Homegirl do the charge card, boy, and it was denied. Right? And I'm just trying to say to homegirl, like, look, do me a favor. Like, I know it denied, but you ain't got to be all, like, loud about it, right? She just, like, flat out, she like, your card's been denied. I'm like, ooh, she with me. Like, you don't got to do me like that. Right? So I said, do me a favor. Come here real quick. Just run it again. I just got it. I know it's sweet. But I just need you to run it one more time for me. She run it one more time. She like, it's declined. I said, come, okay, all right. One more time. But this time, do me a favor. Tell me what the code. Because it's a code. Just tell me what the code say, right? Because something wrong. I know it got my name. She went back, right, looked at the code, came back like, Mr. Thomas, the problem is it says you didn't activate it. It's like, give me 1 second. Got the number, the 800 boy, called homegirl, got that joint activated, came back, she ran it again, got my stuff, walked out like a boss. Right? No, y'all playing. I've been married 24 years. My girl still got the Guess Watch from back. Now, I don't know where mine's is, but she pulled it out the other day, the Guess Watch. I'm like, wow. What? Okay, so you might have just missed it. Question and answer. Give me a minute, because I don't want you to ask me nothing. I don't want you to ask me a question that somebody else in the room could ask. So that's why I'm giving you my backdrop so you can know who I am. So you can know, because real some stuff Tommy can tell you, you shouldn't ask me. Right? For it's some ballers in the room. Don't ask me what you're going to ask them. So I'm coming with a perspective, hopefully, that you going to get something from me that you're not going to get from anybody else, right? So what I'm telling you is that greatness is in a lot of y'all, but you've not activated it. Bro, you haven't activated. You've not gone and asked the code, like, what's wrong? Like, you don't know what's wrong. And I had the presentation, but it ain't up. So we'll deal with that when we get over to the main one. But listen to me. What I want to do in the next 30 is I want to activate some stuff in you that has never been activated before. Because there are two human beings in all of us. So I was a high school dropout. I'm not no more. I was homeless. I'm not no more. So the question then is, because people are asking me, yo, E.T., do you really get up at 3? Like, that's not even a question you should be asking me. I told you I get up at 3. Like, why are you even asking me that when that's not a question? I made a statement. I get up at 3. What you should be asking me is, what time I go to bed? That's what you should ask me. And then you should ask me, when I get up at 3, from the time I wake up to the time I tell you to go to bed, you need to be asking, what are you doing? And then when you really get deep, you ain't asking none of that. You want to know, what's your mindsets? What makes you think the way you think? What makes you tick the way you tick? Like, what button did you click on to go from where you are? Now, look, Tommy said it. I didn't say it. I'll never say that with my mouth because I don't really know if it's true or not. And if it is true, I don't want to know about it. I wouldn't consider myself the best in the game. I would consider myself hungry. I would consider myself trying to get to the place that, yep, when I die, this thing keep going. Yep, yep, yep. So what you need to know is what happened. What clicked in this boy? What took my man from homeless to Australia? What took my man from that to London, to South Africa? Like, what clicked? And for me, boom, I got that thing activated. And let me tell you something. Once they activate it, it can't stop. So for some of you, you still on 70%. And you geeked about your 70 because your people on 50. So your 70 seem deep. Your 70 deep. Ain't nobody around you doing nothing. You understand what I'm telling you? They not doing nothing. So when I got with Bob Proctor, you know, for real, I grind. So I'm speaking and I see Bob Proctor there. Bob Proctor, for those of you who know anything about the book, The Secret, he was one of the contributors to the book. And so I tell my first joke and I'm looking at my man and he laughed. Yeah, baby. I said, let me do one more just to make sure that, you know what I'm saying? That's a legitimate laugh. I did the second joke, he laughed. I'm like, yep, now throw something serious and see if he nods. This all street stuff. This ain't even the new stuff I'm learning. This all Detroit stuff right here. No, for real. For those of you who come to serve, observation. These just observation skills. This ain't the stuff I've learned through reading. The problem with some of you is that you got some stuff that you learn and you think now that you're in business, you got to cut that stuff off. You ain't got to cut that off, but you do got to transition because some of your, let me put it like this, your formal learning, I like that better. Some of your formal learning is keeping you from going to the next level. You still think you like, yo, I'm from New York. That's cool, but that's cool if you in the Bronx and you not in the Bronx. Right now, you might be on your way to London and it don't transfer. For real, I was speaking the other day, I was messed up. So they brought me to St. Louis, right? I'm with John Maxwell. Hear my story, hear what I'm saying. I'm getting a new group of people. I'm doing great. I'm producing great, and now I'm attracting great. I ain't got to call nobody. I don't got to put up no sign. I ain't got to spend no money. I don't have to spend no money to get what I'm doing right now. When you great and it go out, you send great out, for real. You making phone calls and you still doing it average. You still approaching people with the business, but you so caught up on the money that your approach is average. I don't care how sweet the product is, you average. So you take sweet and average, and you got the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, for real, at the end of the day, LeBron ain't changed. But now LeBron ain't with scrubs no more. And the deepest thing LeBron said, catch it, had nothing to do with championships. When he got to Cleveland, LeBron said, I ain't never practiced like this before. This practice seemed like playing. Next level. So you got to lose some stuff, let some stuff go. So after it's over, I'm like, ooh, Bob Proctor was feeling me. I'm about to go holler at my man. So the organizer came to me like, E.T., you murdered it. You did better than we thought you was going to do. I said, oh, okay, well, then I need a favor. I need you to set up a lunch meeting or breakfast meeting, whatever, with Bob Proctor. Bob was like 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'm like, I'm there. Watch what I'm about to tell you. When I got with Bob Proctor, I was like a scrub who never spoke before. Don't nobody know me. I ain't never done nothing. I went to my man, humble. Some of you killing yourself because when you think you sweet, you stop learning. Yep, you think you so sweet, you ain't learning nothing no more. I went to my man, humble, like I ain't never spoken a day in my life, like I'm insignificant, I don't even matter. But I need 30 minutes with you because I need some new information. I sat down with my man said to me, E.T., you still selling books? I said, what? Like I came to talk to you, don't insult me, bro. Like, what? Talk to me, what do you mean, bro? He said, you still selling books? I said, yeah, I'm still selling books. In the back of my mind, I'm like, I done made a couple mil. I don't know what my man talking about. Bob Proctor said, kid, don't nobody make money off books, but chicken soup for the soul. He said, why don't you do this? Give your book away. And what you do is you give your book away, but you put some marketing in there for your Ascension program. I said, what kind of program? You know what I'm saying? I'm from the D. I ain't never heard nobody talk about no Ascension program. I said, a who? He said, E.T., you've been doing this over 20 years, kid. He said, you got knowledge for days. You just need to go ahead, get that green screen, boy, and come up with a couple courses and start your own university online. You get a book away. The book only $24.99. You get a book away, and somebody sign up for your lowest program is $99. Somebody sign up for your highest program, $299. And if they want to just go and cash out and buy it so they don't have to keep paying, they pay $4,000 and get it for 2 years. I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, for real, it sounds good, but I'm going to be real with y'all. Sometimes you got to give up to go up. And for most of us, the hardest part is giving up. Look, listen to me. It ain't nothing to give up broke. Broke is easy to give up. You ain't giving up nothing. What's hard is when you good and you got to give up good to go to great. That's hard. Because you ain't never drove like you drove before. You ain't had choices like you got now. You can't just, look, I go to a restaurant now, homegirl gonna tell me that ain't on the, boo, don't do me like this. I don't care what's on the menu, I'm telling you what I want. I waited a long time to do this. I don't want the mashed potatoes to go with that. I want that, and bring me a little bit of that. And she said, that's going to cost a little more. I said, boo, we didn't say nothing about money. I told you what I got a taste for. It took me a while to get to that. It took me a while to get to the first class. It took me a while to be able to negotiate my contract. My boy from Australia called me. I mean, I don't know him personally, but my man called me. He's like, E.T., we want to bring you over here. We're going to cash you out. You'll make more money than you've ever made before, but we can't afford the first class ticket. I'm like, I feel you, bruh. I ain't your guy then. I'm telling you, back in the day, I would have, you're going to pay me more in a week than I made in a year when I was working? I would have went with the, all right, coach me out. Put me all the way in the back. But I don't play around with good no more. And I told my man, do me a favor, holler at me when you can get to first class, boy. I ain't going nowhere. I'm here. I said, I live in America. I ain't rushing to get to another country. Anything you could do over there, you could do over here. And the plane just crashed right in your area. If I die, I want to die in first class. Like, for real, let's just keep it 100. They just had a plane crash. They don't even know where the plane is. And you gonna ask me to do that in coach? I want to be laying down praying when I go. I don't want to be sitting next to my man screaming and hollering. I want my own little corner. My man called me back a week later. We went through our budget and we found, I knew you would. Because you don't negotiate with a Bentley. You don't walk in like, I want a Bentley. I'll give you 50 grand. That's a different dealership, kid. We don't do that here. Now, you might go to Lincoln, they're going to do that with you in Lincoln. For real, Lincoln might be like, we trying to get these off the lot. Give me 55. Listen to me very closely, because some of y'all in this room, I'm telling you, what's killing you is good. You on good, and you ain't never been on good before, and you just like, I'm here. You don't even know where here is. You going from where you accustomed to, and now you here. And Bob Proctor said, give it up, E. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to keep it 100. I left and still was selling books. Then I went to Australia. And my man said, you made them pay for your ticket? I said, yeah. And your flight? I said, yeah. Hotel? Yeah. He said, I do that on my own. And I sell my Ascension program. He said, look, kid, he said, I'm going to be real with you. We brought you here because you could get the numbers. But I'm about to make $250,000 off you in 2 hours. I was like, all right, let's see. I watched my man, I got up and murdered the game. They was pumped. My man came up after me. He wasn't even as sweet as I was, but he had an Ascension program. I murdered my man. And I got a little check, and he did an Ascension program. They made $500,000 because it was they little soccer, whatever, football. It was a tournament, so it wasn't a whole bunch of people there. They made $500,000. My man cut my man a check for $250. He got it $250. They split it. They left. I came home, told my boys no more speaking. Ascension program. Ken, I came home. What we do now? What's the schedule? 3 days a week. Yep. Turn the camera on. The one I'm doing right now, we about to release to the world, is one on relationships. How to ball out financially and maintain your home. Because ain't nobody, I got it. I got the market on lockdown. I'm guaranteeing you, I've been paying attention. 70% of the dudes that's blowing up, they losing at the crib. They ain't got no triple-double. I got a triple-double. I'm doing it at the crib. My kids in love with me, and I'm doing it in the world. I got a triple-double. Once we put that up, murder. We about to murder the game. We about to put marriages back together. Murder the game. Murder the game. So you got to listen to me. Bob Proctor blew my mind. I thought I was doing it. Now let's keep it 100. Before the Ascension program, I wasn't doing bad. My man, like, you still on books? But I ain't never ran with millionaires. Look, I'm running. My man called me. I'm doing some work tomorrow. He said, where you at? I said, I'm in Atlantic City. He said, look, we'll send a private jet out to get you. It's levels to this. So all I'm saying to you is, I ain't disrespecting the level you on, but don't get stuck on it. Yes, you came here to get some information that you didn't have before or hear it in a way you've never heard it before. Bob Proctor told me Ascension program, but because of the hood and because of where I was, I thought because I could go to a dealership and buy a car, I thought I was doing something. And the problem with this is you got to be here to make money. With the Ascension program, you could be asleep. You could be sick. You could be depressed. You could be whatever you want to be. Once it's online, boom, they go on there, got it, bought it. I'm on the phone talking to cats who spending money about their marriage. Like, we ain't even got the business yet. They're like, man, my marriage. And I get off the phone, I'm like, yo, bro, I just want to make sure you happy. I know $299 is a lot. He said, E.T., you just saved my marriage, bro. You said some stuff to me in 30 minutes that I've never, ever heard before. I'd pay you triple if you asked me. There's nothing more important in my relationship. Because if I lose my wife, I lost everything. I can name all that. I can name the entertainers. I can name the ballers who balling but lost their girl on the way. I was like, LeBron, much respect, LeBron, much respect. I don't care what y'all went through. You kept homegirl from high school. I got it. Mad respect, bro. I know that was difficult. You got your babies in the same house with their mama. Yes. And y'all ain't beefing, them kids gonna be healthy. There's levels to this. So whatever level you on, just understand that ain't the last level. And just know when you come here, some stuff for you to learn. So this is why I got to tell you. You got to do me a huge favor. I had a slide up there with a lion with a whole bunch of blood on her mouth. And one of the things I want to tell you is what separates the next level people is that we have an appetite that's out of this world. A lion can eat 300 pounds of animal. Appetite out of this world. And for some of you, your biggest problem is you don't have an appetite. You settle. You get to a place and you're looking for that place, and once you get to that place, you good. Like, for real, you ain't never been able to buy suits like this, and now you can dress up every day. You geeked, and you should be. But that ain't the highest level. You driving what you've never driven before. That ain't the highest level. You living like you've never lived before. That's not the highest level. So watch this, guys. Watch this. So this is crazy. High school dropout. And now I'm tripping. I took a picture today and I'm like, ooh. #1 draft, Clowney, my guy. Eric Ebram came to Detroit, my guy. Most of these kids, they grew up on my stuff. Like, they like, E, when you gonna send us the gear? It's easy now. It's like cruise control. When you do what you love, what you passionate about, I didn't even come up with this. I was looking for a little brand, like, okay, I need a brand. And then this dude sent me a whole bunch of stuff, and I saw that. I was like, ooh, that's me. I was like, that's me right there. I was like, all right, calm down. Show it to your wife, because she like cutthroat. For real, I showed my girl, she like, that's whack. Well, I don't even know why you thought that was sweet. Like, for real, she don't play with it. Like, she not, for real, can I say this? And this is really, I wasn't going to say this here, but this is important. Iron sharpens iron, so do if one man sharpens another. Listen to me. Most of us will never get to the next level because you have an inferiority complex. You only want to hang out with people you're doing better than. Like, your esteem is so low that if you around somebody that's sweeter than you, you aggravated. Somebody driving better than you, you got an issue with it. Like, you trying to play like you, oh man, congratulations. But you hurt. Can I tell you the secret to success? I left Huntsville when the dude told me you should run for mayor. I'm like, something wrong with this city. I'm in my 20s and you're gonna tell me I should run for mayor because I'm doing positive, I gotta go. I went to Michigan State because I wanted to hang around people with their PhDs. I wanted to hang around people who run circles around me. See, a diamond is worth what a diamond is worth, not because of the stone, but the cut of the stone. I'll say it again. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to say it real slow. I'm going to say it slow because I want to make sure you caught that. A diamond ain't worth what it is because it's a stone. No, the diamond is what it is because of the way they cut it. And based on the cut, the grade of the cut, that's how they say, now that thing got cut. That's 1.5 mil. The least, the cut. When you just go get one from the normal store and it's a couple grand, look at it. The stone ain't cut the way the big boy is. The cut, they put the thing on and they cut it. Shh, you want to be deep, but you don't want to be cut. You hate constructive criticism. You hate to learn. And the greatest thing, I told you in the guru story, there has to be a student and there has to be a guru. And even if you're a guru, at some point you want to stop being a guru and you want to switch and become a student so you can get to that next level. So when I saw it, I said, ooh, took it to my girl. My girl was like, yeah. I was like, that's it. It's going to the world. Hats, shirts, boom. And I built a brand, y'all. A brand, something that will outlast me, something that says enthusiasm. I don't even know how it happened. I don't even know. When you start doing what you love to do, you start doing stuff, you don't even know what you're doing. No, everybody be like, I've been to the airport, E.T., thank God it's Monday. If you go back to the beginning, I said Motivational Mondays. I don't even know where thank God it's Monday came from. But one day I just was like, thank God it's Monday. Thank God it's Monday. I like that. And so there's levels to this. It's my last one. We're going to open up. It's my last one. Here's the challenge. The levels require time. And some of y'all, I'm not suggesting that you do anything, but I'm telling you, if you give half your time to this and half your time to that, I left Michigan State University. My girl, Midwest all day. She said, you quitting your what? Your stable job with insurance and benefits? For YouTube? My girl said, I'm going to keep it 100. How much YouTube pay? I was like, they don't pay nothing. How much insurance? They don't have, I don't think they have an insurance package. 401k. You got a good 401k. Michigan State doubled. Whatever you gave, they doubled. You gave 10%, they gave 20%. She said, you about to leave that to do what? YouTube? Yep. But I totally surrendered and gave myself to the craft. Shh. Some of you will never be successful because what you're doing, you have no reverence for it. You have no reverence. Let me tell you what reverence is. I didn't grow up in the church. My boys were dope boys, but when we went past the church, I never prayed in my house. We never prayed in my house. We didn't go to church on Christmas, things. Easter, we didn't go to church. But when we passed the church, my boys knew no cuss zone. If we robbing folks, stealing cars, if it's got clergy on it. If it's an old lady, you don't rob her. I don't care how much money she got. She old. You don't touch her. I learned at a young age, which is why I'm murdering the game. I learned what a lot of you who grew up in church didn't learn. I learned reverence.
Go ahead now.
And reverence means that you revere a thing. You understand it so well. You respect it so well that you reverence it. And when you reverence something, the relationship changes. When you reverence something. And the problem with most of you, you're just doing what you're doing for money and you don't reverence the thing. But when you reverence it, E.T., why you reverence speaking so much? Because King did it and gave his life for it. Why? Because Garvey did it. Because Malcolm did it and gave what I'm doing right now, that's what they did. What Rosa did, I reverence what I do. And because I reverence it, I bring a certain passion and drive to it. You just on the phone making a phone call. I could tell you ain't really serious about it, but you want me to be serious about it? You don't believe it. Because I told you no once and you ain't called me back. I have never, ever, trust me, I've never, ever paid a dime for marketing. But when I get on YouTube, you feel it. You see it. You like, I ain't really sure what my man's selling, but I got to get one. For real, you don't reverence what you do. That's why you do it for a couple hours and you go to sleep. Listen to me, listen to me very closely. Lions are wired differently. When you get to my level, you don't go to sleep when you're tired. You go to sleep when you're done. I'm wired different. I go to sleep when I'm done. I don't go to sleep when I'm tired. I keep grinding and I keep grinding. Yep, marriage, yep, PhD, yep, company, yep, full-time pastor, and I can do it all. I'm wired differently. Gazelles run, lions chase. Some of you trying to do what lions do, but you're still wired like a gazelle. No, what I'm telling you is, it ain't nothing wrong with the business. People keep saying it's a scam. No, you a scam. No, you a scam, because you said when you signed up, you was going to devote this, you was going to do this, and it didn't work out, so you pulled back. But listen to me very closely. When you reverence something, I'm about as close as you can get without idol worship. I'm close. I'm real close to idol worship. Real close when it comes to my wife. I'm real close. I'm real close to idol worship. Real close. Real close. And people say, E.T., man, you do anything for that girl. What's going on? Like, you the man. No, I'm the man now, but when I was homeless. Reverence. I remember. Cats remember. The cat species, they remember stuff. Like, they got a real good memory, right? They ain't dogs. Lions are wired. They remember. I remember when I was homeless and a high school dropout, and she gave me my loot. She gave me her allowance. I remember when everybody else gave up on me. I remember when she pushed me. So now, you think it's. You think it's done. Don't think it's. I got it. I'm sending flowers on. The florist and I, we like this. She like, E.T., what's wrong? Reverence, boo, ain't nothing wrong. Reverence. Reverence, I remember. And the problem with some of you is that you have amnesia, like you on contract, you ain't on covenant. And I need you to take you to covenant, because when you get to covenant, you're going to blow up. Covenant says, I don't care. My man going to call me, E.T., man, I'm going through it in my girl tripping, I don't want to get a divorce. I said, bro, what are you saying to me? I wasn't signing up for this. Bruh, look, do me a favor. You lied. I did it. I was there. I read you the nuptials. I was right there. I said for better or for worse. You said, you bad. I do. You should have just been like, yo, E, for the worst part, I ain't really, can we take that part out? No, for real, it's your nuptials. They ain't mine. Yo, E, the sickness part, I ain't really on that. As long as she's straight, though, I'm good. But if she gets sick, I'm out. No, you think I'm playing. And because your mentality is a contract and not a covenant, there's certain things you can't get until you're in covenant. There's certain blessings that you can't get until you, there's certain blessings that are out of reach for you until you covenant. You feel me? That's why when people meet me at the airport, I give them 30 seconds, I cut the whole world off, and boom, I'm locked in for that 30 seconds. I just left 107.9 in Philly. Somebody told me the relationship started. Somebody told me it's QDZ's birthday. He loves you. Call him on his birthday. I called my man. Boom, now I'm about to do a syndicated radio show. What am I telling you? The average guy on my level would have been like, what? First of all, you can't even get to the guy. I ain't going to say no names, but watch some of the speakers and you try to talk to him if you want to. Try to have a conversation. They bodyguard out. They got their personal assistant. You can't get to them. I'm in covenants. I gave my stuff away for 4 or 5 years. You watch the first video to this one, I'm paying people to do videos to give them to you for free. I'm in covenant with you. You ain't giving me nothing and you getting a sweet video every week. I got companies that have come to me, $1 million companies saying, E.T., let's do it this way. You just do like a minute and you direct them to this site and they got to pay $1 and we can make you $1 million off videos. I said, no, you don't get it. I'm in covenant. I can't do that. I can't do that. There's some shorty in the hood that he don't have the money, and even if he does, his mama ain't gonna spit it like that. Shh, it's gonna come back to me. And what I'm trying to tell you is, when you look at the company beyond the money, you're gonna see some values. And now you gotta be linked up with the values, because the closer you're linked up to the values. Did you hear Tommy talking about spending time with family? That's values. That's the lion. When she go and do her thing, she bringing the meat back for the whole family. That's in her, that's how she wired. She don't kill and just eat it by herself. So if you're going to be on the next level, like you're just trying to make money, that's low-hanging fruit. Oh, this is the last thing I'm going to say. Open it up. That's low-hanging fruit. You want to drive a fancy car? That's low-hanging fruit. E.T., what do you mean by that? They sell cars. You think Bentley making a car not to sell? They sell cars. They want you to buy it. They don't sell family. You can't go to Walmart and say, how much on a happy family? They don't sell that. They don't sell passion and drive. They don't sell that. And what this company is trying to give you is what they don't sell. And if you go after that, you're going to get the other stuff too. That stuff going to come. So you got to do me a favor. In this room right here, in this room, what I'm telling you is that you're going to have to switch your focus, and now you're going to have to find 12 people that you just pour into their life. Into their life. My videographer, I had to get me a new videographer. Right? What happened to my videographer team in the back? You could be honest with the people, they're not recording. What happened to my videographer? He had a what? Had his first child. Wife couldn't have kids, she thought. Got close to the 30s. You know what happened when you almost 30 and you don't have them and you start worrying. I told my homeboy, like, for real, you're killing your girl. She want to have a baby and you don't. I'm going to need you to get on one accord with her so we can loose some stuff up. So let's go to Walmart and just buy some stuff. I know you ain't feeling it. Let's go buy some stuff. What you want, a boy or girl? I don't know. So buy what you want. After my man covenanted with her, a couple weeks later, she had a child. First one. And they're 30. So she kind of like, she knew, she don't know no better. So they really almost worship little man. They don't know no better. Real, little man getting over. Like, they don't know when he cried, he going to be okay. Like, but my man got him whipped, right? So my videographer, he been gone for how long? Like, on the road, he been gone for how long? Over a year. I ain't tripping. You find what you still work from us from home because family come first. That's not something I said to allure you. That's what I meant. So whatever the company has to do to make the adjustment, the company will make the adjustment because we're not going to ask your son to make the adjustment. No. And the reason why we're so successful is because I live by the values. I was tempted. My man got a baby. He was just gone. We didn't even have no conversation about it. He didn't even say to me like, yo, E.T., I'm just going to be gone for the next 2 years. So I just hired my man who's been working with us from the jump. Now my man is running the Ascension program and his family is happy and they about to have a second child in a couple months. And I ain't tripping. And guess what? We didn't lose nothing in the deal. He got his family. I'm geeked to see it. They go to my church. He my guitar player. His wife helps with the Sabbath school with the kids. It's a great, I love it. But we do family first and everything else is second. And we got to turn offers down. Questions? We don't have a lot of time. I apologize. I was supposed to just come out with questions, but I got caught up. So questions, I'm sorry. Questions. 2, 3, we can get out of here. Somebody work with me then. Work with me right here. All right. Eddie, work with me, y'all. Work with me. Talk to me. Good. Eric Thomas. And you know, it's crazy. It's called exponential growth. You can add or you can multiply. And when you can't say no, you're adding. But when you can say no, you begin to multiply, right? So this is what I did. I said, I'm only going to work, I'm only going to grind so many years and prove to the world that I am who I say I am. But after so many years, I'm not going to sacrifice my family no more. So this was my year to say all of that is over with, right? So I called my agent, and we was doing like 5, 7 grand. I shifted to like almost 20 grand on her. And she like, whoa, she wasn't comfortable because she didn't know what I was giving. I said, boo, I've been giving it for free so long, now that I'm asking people to pay for it, it's a shift, but we're going to be all right. So what I did was, I said, I'm going 20 grand. Now, Tommy, my boy, Dame, these my it's family. So I deal with family different. But if we business, right? So what I did was, I prayed about it, and I started telling people 15, 20 grand. I just started saying no. My man called me 6 grand, California. Got to drive 2 hours when you pick me up. I can't no more. First class, because I need to get on first. I need to get off because it's my time. I don't need to be in no long lines. I ain't balling. I just want to be with my wife to the last minute. I don't want to have to stand in a 2-hour line. I want to get in the one, the fast track boy. I want to get the ticket that say priority so my bags come out first and I can just make my move. You hear what I'm saying? I said no to certain gigs. I promise you, man, I promise you on everything I love. When I start saying no to the 7, he said, put your foot in the water first. Let me see if you're real. I start the 20, start calling out of nowhere. I don't know how it happened. All I start saying is no. So guess what I did? Instead of taking $20,000 gigs, I was true to my family and true to myself. I only started going on the road 5 times, only 2 to spend the night. Now I'm at home 28 days out of the month. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't bought nothing new. I want to take care. So watch this. So now I can get my PhD. The reason why I couldn't get my PhD before, because I was gone too much. I couldn't study. So now I'm like, I'm shutting everything down. We're going to get it done. Did the defense of the proposal. Only got 2 more chapters left. Now I got time. I'm killing it. I got time to do my research. Me and my girl going out to lunch every day. Me and my daughter getting it in because my son in college. I'm working with Michigan State basketball so I could be there for my son. You feel what I'm saying? So I just started saying no. And LaShawna left? LaShawna, tell you, LaShawna, did I used to have a problem with no? Yes. Yep. Do I have a problem with no now? No. My boy just called me in Cali, try to get the deal, the homie deal. I'm like, bruh, I was going to give you the homie deal, but you waiting till the last minute? Like, I'm your boy, but it's people that pay like months in advance. I gave you the homie deal, and it's 2 weeks from now. And then I got to go get this award, Audio Book of the Year. I'm already knowing when I go, I ain't no finalist. I already know I won. I believe in it. I'm believing it. Best book, best audio book. I'm already believing it because I did it with passion. I didn't have some dude do my book for me. I did it. So I started saying, no, man, everybody got me now. And I'm saying, here, this is what I'm going to show you. Real quick, ready? Not important, this in the book, right? Chapter 6, this in the book. Not important, somewhat important, very important, emergency. Not important. My homegirl called me while I was with my family in Miami. E.T., I need some money to pay my rent. You my homie, I got you, but not now. I need it right now. Then you're going to have to call somebody else. I'm with 1, and you are 4, and I'm not about to sacrifice 1 for 4. I'll send it to you when I get a chance. Send it to her 3-4 days later. Not important. Your emergency is not my emergency. Some of y'all dying. You spending more time on other folks' business in a day, and you ain't, and more than yours, and you only got 24 hours, and you doing other people's jobs, and you ain't even getting paid for it. Somewhat important. My son called, Dad, I left my homework at school, and I'm going to flunk. If I don't get it, well, then you're going to flunk. Because I'm on a business call right now. It's somewhat important because you're my son. But it ain't no emergency. You might want to remember it the next time, and then you probably need to flunk so you remember the next time. Very important. My wife calls me and tells me there's some stuff I'm supposed to do. Very important. Because if I don't do it, she's going to interrupt the sanctity of the home when she gets home. I can't explain it. I promise you I can't explain it. But sister girl come home and I ain't do what she asked me to do, it's going to be a long evening. That's very important. Extremely important. But emergency is Tommy called me. Coney Scott called me, Dane called me and said, E, we can't give you your check because you got the wrong social security number. That's an emergency. That stopped everything you're doing. All right, so Coney, let's go over these numbers one more time here. Read them back to me, all right? I will restate what you stated to me, all right? Take a picture of it with your phone, now send it to me, right? And I will send you a code. That's an emergency. What most of us doing, we spending 24 hours doing what's not important or somewhat important because we still got these affirmation issues and we trying to win somebody's love, so we doing stuff for them, not realizing you could do 20 things for them and they ain't gonna never love you. Who was my other question? Help me out. Y'all got to help me. Somebody. Right here. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry. Talk to me.
First off, I want to thank you. I got introduced to your stuff when I was studying abroad for like 6 months. And it gave me drive to do a lot of things and accomplish what I was there for. But right now,
Yeah. So apparently there's a disconnect in your thinking. So apparently, like, this girl told me once, I'm a procrastinator. I said, there's no such thing as a procrastinator. No such thing. She said, what do you mean? I said, if I told you to come tomorrow, 6 o'clock in the morning, I'll give you $1 million, for real, for real. I had $1 million to give you, and if you come at 6:01, you couldn't get it. What time would you come? She like, I'll be there at 5:45. I said, well, why would you come at 5:45? You say you're a procrastinator. You just told me you were a procrastinator, but you're gonna get here on time to get the money. So what happens is it's not that you're a procrastinator. What you are is, you're like every human being. You do what's important to you, right? So apparently, in your mind, you're telling yourself this should be in your heart, but you really don't believe it. Because if you really believed it, it would be something that you would do. You feel me? So we have a belief problem. Either you lying to yourself about what you believe, or you've not internalized what you believe. So I told you the difference between a gazelle and a lion is that a gazelle is running because it's afraid. So what do you do when that thing which is chasing you is not chasing you anymore? You stop running. But when you are a lion, you always chasing. Why? Because you've internalized the only way I eat is to hunt. You understand what I'm saying? So something has happened to you where it's like intrinsic, extrinsic. And extrinsic is, you know it's important, but it's rewards. Like it's outside, it's not inside. So you've got to sit down and do something internal. Something that makes you say, yo, this stuff that I'm doing, I can't be wasting time. There's a goal that I have, and if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, I'm not going to do it. You feel me? So you got to internalize it. I've internalized this thing. I've internalized it. I already know that if I want to win a Nobel Peace Prize, I already know when somebody called me for some free gigs. You know how many free gigs you got to do to get a Nobel Peace Prize? That's a lot of gigs you got to do for free. Like, you can't get a Nobel Peace Prize charging people. That's business, right? And so I've internalized. So what I'm saying, I want to win it, now I've internalized it. I know what that means, how many calls I got to make, how many pictures I got to take, how many people I got to focus on and block other people out. I get it. You've not internalized it. So I don't know if it's something you really believe, or you're trying to do it for your parents, or you're trying to do it because you believe this is what success is. But when you get to a place where you can internalize it and you really believe it in your heart. All right, so real quick, my Oakwoodites, right? Real quick. So back in the day, we used to get a flight to Nashville because it was cheaper to fly into Nashville, right? But the trick was you got to get a ride from Nashville to Huntsville. So when you call your homeboy, that's when you really find out if that's your homeboy or not. I need a ride from the airport. No doubt. I'll be there in 10 minutes. No, not that airport. Nashville. And if your boy say, I got you, that meant he was a true friend. Now, you've been friends and you thought you was friends, but you don't know you friends until it's time for that person to make that sacrifice. A lot of us in this room got a lot of goals and a lot of dreams, and you don't really know if those goals or dreams are real yet. What do I mean? I said I wanted to speak to the NFL. I work for the NFL. I'm not interested no more because it's not what I thought it was. It's not what I thought. NBA, it's not what I thought it was. Are you hearing me? You got 18, 19-year-olds that might not be ready to learn right now. They on some different stuff right now. You got owners that don't really care about these kids. But I like this. Why? Because this is closer to my values and what I believe. So you got some internalizing to do. You need to sit down with yourself, and you got some talking to do, some explaining to do. And you got to find out what's real about what you say and what's not. And the stuff that's not, get rid of it and start thinking through. That's why I dress the way I dress. Because I realized, I can't do the shirt tie. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But I felt funny when I was doing it. Now, I speak so well that this is who I am. And I had to make some sacrifices. No, I can't come to your company like I want to see. You feel me? I had to deal with Eric Thomas and get to the root of some stuff. And once you do that, you next level. You know some stuff. Right here, this one man right here. Yeah. I think they're gonna make you stand up, look like you. I'm not sure, because if you don't stand, that only people stand. So talk to me. Yeah.
What is your definition of fear? How would you describe fear?
I don't even know if fear is real, bro. I don't know what it is. You know, I think it's something that somebody made up. You know, I don't know what it is, because there's nothing. You know, I'm not giving you the spirit of fear. I don't even know what it is. But it's love, power, sound mind. So I don't know what fear is. I think fear is other people limitations that they trying to get you to buy into, right? My mom tell you all day, my mom was like, look, I ain't hate my son, but I wasn't with it. And she'll tell you I wasn't with it because I don't love my son. I don't hate my son. I worked at Ford for 30 years. I clocked in and clocked out. That was my realization. The only way you can get paid is a job. I understand that. That was my mother's reality, not my reality. So what I think fear is is grown people listening to other grown people and accepting their little limitations. I think that's what fear is, because if you look at a little kid jumping off the 8th floor. Blah. For real, little man ain't tripping. Little man coming off the top rope like boom. And I'm talking about blah, hit his head, and for a minute he like, and then once he shake that off, he right back, boom. It ain't even good. It's not even the pain. It was that person that, oh, you hurt. You can't do that anymore. So he like, whoa, I did it twice and it didn't hurt. But she told me it hurt, so I guess it hurt. And then they stopped doing it. I think that's what fear is. Other people that you love. Check this out. Other people that you love, admire, they telling you, you can't do that. And they're right. They can't. They're right. They can't do it. Well, I can do it. You understand what I'm saying? So fear is not, I don't know what it is. I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, I don't know. Where's the two? You see the two? Because she's standing up like I'm standing now. Right. I don't know how you want to deal with this one. Yeah. So talk to me. Where am I? 1, 2.
Those three.
I got you. Yeah, because she was on the edge. Yeah. She went to emergency. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to rub and then we'll get to the 2. All right. I got you first. All right, I got her first. Got you.
All right, so when you have that imaginary fear blockage in front of you that stops you from taking that first step, you know, because you had a momentum and someone told you no and pushed you back into that.
What pushed you back?
That no.
Not the no didn't push you back. You internalized the no. No, listen to what I'm saying. The no didn't stop you. You internalized the no. Something about you was like, no, and you took it like, yep, no. No, I want you to understand what I'm saying, because you can't fix what you're not real about. You made that up. You gave it power. So then I ain't tripping, because if you gave it power, you can take the power from it. Because you're the one that gave it power in the first place. So since you said, they said no, and you internalized it, right? People tell me all the time, E.T., you can't get no PhD. It took you 4 years. It took you 12 years to get a 4-year degree. It's not possible. You don't write well. I'm like, I feel you. We talking scholastically. No, I can't get a PhD. But we talking grind. Now, if you telling me academically is the only way you can get it, you might be right. But I know you can grind your way to it. You can meet the teacher, give her the paper early, let her mark it up, she give it back to you. You fix it, give it back to her, she mark it up again, you give it back to her. Oh, you missed what I just said. You can grind your way through it. Yeah, you can grind your way through it. Yeah, you can get somebody else in the class and say, he didn't get his paper marked up like that. Let's spend some time together. Let me see an example of your paper. You hear what I'm saying? I just want to see your paper and say, and because I'm hood, I'll study it. I'll see how you started. I'll see how you cite it. I'll see how you use theory. I'll see how it was practical. I'll see how you ended it. I'll see how you supported it. I'm smart enough to mimic what I just saw you do. That's what Mike did. You like, oh, Mike was the best dancer ever. Mike mimicked James Brown. Mike didn't make that up. Now, Mike took what he got from James Brown and added a little something to it. But James Brown took what he took from the church. They was catching the Holy Ghost and dancing back in the day. And James saw it and was like, oh, that's what speaking in tongues stuff. They don't know what they were saying. He picked it up and started doing it. So I'm going to say it again. So when you internalize the no, now what you have to start saying is, why did I internalize it? What is it about me that allowed that person into my space like that?
That's what I'm going to ask. How do you not personalize someone's rejection?
You asking, how did they get here? Nobody's supposed to, I'm from Motown. Nobody's supposed to be here. Nobody has the right. All right, so I'm sorry, LaShawna. So LaShawna asked me, when my homeboy, I told him I couldn't come. LaShawna, what did you ask me? When my boy said, you said, how's he going? You got to call and tell them, because you knew me from the past, you asked me what? Right, and I told you what? No. And then you asked me how I was going to, and I said easy. I ain't who I used to be. I used to put you before my wife. You never belonged in that space in the first place. So why am I hurt to tell you no when you played me and didn't follow the orders? You messed this whole thing up in the first place. You didn't go to my agent. You didn't get a contract. You trying to get the homie hookup. You played me as your boy. You didn't even see me as the professional that I am. If you my boy, you shouldn't be trying to get no hookup. You should be trying to hook me up.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
You're not hearing what I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
No, we gon', you hook me, I hook you. We gon' go back and forth. We gon', man, stuff I did for this, I wouldn't do for, but Damon belonged in my space. Long before this, he was in my space. So I'm asking myself, how did you get here? How, as a hater, how did I let you in? As a non-supporter, how did I love my mom. I love my mom. And my mom got all reign. But business, you can't come in here. Because I know where your mind and your spirit is, and you don't understand this. My kids, you mom. My money, you mom. I got you. But in business, you can't be here because you're not healthy in that area. You don't see like an entrepreneur sees. So you got to ask yourself, like, whoa, what is it about me that I even let them, why did they even feel comfortable coming to me like that? They should have even felt comfortable coming in my space. And then when we deal with us, and the reason why I deal with us, because when you deal with you, you got all power. You can't change nobody else, but you can change yourself. So now it's easy for me to say no, because I'm like, yo, I could tell you wasn't even looking out for my family in the first place. You trying to put me on what type of flight with a layover? From Detroit to Cali? You trying to turn a 5-hour to a 10? You got me in the middle seat? No, you laughing. I told my boy, you trying to play me. You want me to fly to Australia for 16 hours, sitting up, but as soon as I get off the plane, you gonna want me to be ET. Right. Now you playing me, you want me to sit in the back, in the middle for 16 hours, but as soon as I drop off the plane, you got cameras, lights, action. You got all your people, you got the VIP hookup, you got people meet me at the airport, they're in the car talking to me. Bro, I'm gonna have to get some sleep on that. I'm gonna have to be able to lay down and get some rest. I'm gonna have to eat when I feel like eating.
All right.
Not because I'm trying to ball, but when I get off, I want to be fresh. And I can't be fresh if I ain't in business class. I need to be able to take a shower. I need a rag, a hot rag. For real, I can't be hitting the button looking for you. When you in the back on the international board, they going to sleep just like you going to sleep. They ain't up for 16 hours. When you in business class, somebody's job is to look at you looking at them. Just look at me, Mr. Thomas. I did. How can I help you? I need some water. No ice, please. When I hit that ground, no excuses. No excuses. When I hit that ground, my man told me in Australia last year, E, I had never met you before. I watched your videos, and I had exaggerated you. And when you finished with us, you exceeded. Listen to me. He said, so this is what they tell you to do. They tell you to, help me, Holy Ghost. I need to be able to say it right. Help me, Holy Ghost. Okay, somebody help me out. Help me out. You are supposed to under-promise and over-deliver. My man told me you over-promised and over-delivered.
Wow.
He said, I ain't lying. I had you up here, and when you finished, you was up here from the time you landed. And then I got back on the plane first class with my mom and my aunt. And when I got home, they got the fresh ET when I got home. They didn't get leftovers. Because I've been gone for 10 days, and when I come back, they want daddy like they know daddy, not the little jet lag daddy. So get them out your space, and you need to deal with you, and ask yourself, who gave them the key to get in? And then what you need to do, some of us had to do this before when you get a crib, and you gave too many people the keys, you got to change the locks. You call ADP, change the whole code, and first it was like 6342, you change all your alarm stuff. You call like, look, I need to check my code, everything. There's some people who had it that don't need it no more. So you need to let some stuff. So,
Well, I'll make it quick. John Wosu, Atlanta, Georgia. 3 years ago, I was in jail. 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to start my master's program. A lot of people were looking out for me. A year ago, $200 were broke with me. I was happy to do my program. Last week, I graduated with my master's in school counseling. And I want to say that on this journey to personal growth and development, 6 months before today, I've been listening to you almost every morning. I want to say that I appreciate you. You know, my question is, you know, can I show you some love? That's my question. Because the stuff that you've done and the stuff that everyone in my life who has supported me has done, I appreciate it.
Can I answer it? Yes. Good. So biblically, it says in the process of time.
All right. All right.
Feel what I'm telling you. Feel me in the spirit. In the process of time.
All right.
So what the process of time means is that it happened already. It's in the process of time. No. Listen to what I'm telling you. It means that it's already happened. You got to hear what I'm saying. Now, when people say, E.T., come on, man. If you know me, I've been on this.
Yeah.
So, I've been on this. This ain't no one-hit wonder. Nah. You from Oakwood, I've been on this. Yeah. I've been doing this since you met me. The whatever you want to call it, celebrity status is new, the money, but I've been successful. Because I've been me. Yes, and I've been doing what I've been called to do. The money don't make me successful. The process of time. He told Joseph, they gonna be, and he said it, they did it. But what he was thinking, it meant tomorrow, next year. And what the Creator was saying was, no. And you better hear what I'm telling you. The process of time means I've already given it to you, but your character is not ready to handle it right now. No, you better hear what I'm telling you. You better hear what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is, you know what kind of character you have to turn down millions? I walked away from my man. I told my man, bro, you don't get it. You can't buy me. I can't be bought or sold. What you selling, you can buy and sell. I got character. I can make as much money as I want to. Because I live what I practice. So as soon as I hook up with your company because of what you represent, my likability goes all the way down. Because you grind me. So as soon as I connect with you, you're going to give me a little check. But if I keep my character straight, I'm going to make that every year and some. So what God was saying is, I don't have a new voice. I don't have a new gift. My character is finally caught up with my gifts. And it's a balance now. You feel me? So now I can handle money. I can handle power. I can handle, I'm with, you name them, NBA, I'm with those guys. But I'm not, let me tell you something, God is so good, watch this. God showed me, do you know how you blew up in NFL, son? Do you know how you blew up in NBA? Let me tell you what happened. I didn't even know it. I would be the first person in these boys' life that would walk up in there and challenge them. But I was able to challenge them because I wasn't coming in like, and they were so accustomed to people just jocking them that I was the first dude that walked in and wasn't jocking them and challenged them. And they was like, whoa, and God said, you don't even get it. You don't even know why you went in there and you wasn't really on that. I said, why? He said, because you've been praying every morning at 3 o'clock for the last 18, 19 years. And when you've been in the presence of God, ain't no human did.
All right.
No, and no disrespect. You still revere and respect humans, but you're not like a human. And if you are, it's a Martin Luther King. It's your grandma. Like it's somebody that poured into your life, not somebody just on TV. It's somebody that did something for you. So what God told me in the process of time here, I got all of this for you. You can have it in 14 years, you can have it in 18 years, you can have it in 20 years, but I will not give you anything until your character is ready for it, son. I will not give you anything. My son is so difficult. What's your name? Tracy, let me tell you something. My son wanted a car. I promise you I wanted to give him a BMW on the first car. Tracy, hear me. It's hard as a parent when you have and your children are not mature enough to receive what you have. So I was with my son when he was doing his driver's test. He was murdering. And I said, if you got that type of foot, what's going to happen if I give you what's going to happen? I give you a sporty BMW. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take you to your grave. So I'm going to get you a truck, because that's what kind of driving you do. I'm going to give you a vehicle for the driving that you do. And I got him a truck. I give my daughter probably whatever she wanted. He like, oh, you spoil her. No. When my daughter went and got her driver's exam the other day, the dude told her I should have failed you on a couple hookups, but I passed you because it seemed like, it seemed like you kind of know what you're doing. I should have just flunked you because you didn't hit the stop sign. You kind of go through. And when my daughter went and got her license, the lady was like, did you pass? And my daughter was looking down, and she was like, yeah. She's like, why aren't you happy? Because for my daughter, he told her a couple things that she didn't do well. So in her mind, she passed, but she didn't pass. So in her mind now, she got to practice. My son, he would have passed, he wouldn't have been worried about none of that. My man wouldn't care nothing about all the little corrections he got to make. He ain't ready, he ain't mature. So there's certain things I don't give to him, but she's mature, she's ready. When you ready, and you holding God up right now. No, and you trying to make it like he holding you up. And he told me to tell you, don't you do me like that. Don't you do me like that. You got some stuff that I told you to fix that you didn't fix. You got some stuff I told you to make an adjustment on, you didn't make an adjustment on. And as soon as you make the adjustment, he said, I got you. But don't try to put this on me, he said. Don't turn this on me. It's on you. And so as soon as you do what I told you to do, open up, you don't never lie. Open up the windows. All right. We're going to have room enough to receive it. And then we're going to come back next year and we're going to be on something else. That's my time, guys.